Hey, welcome to Crusade. This video is the week 3 and 4 topics of feet, the results video. So here is what I drew between the 2 weeks. The first week I was kind of busy, so I didn't get to draw a whole lot. So I think this is from the first week here, using reference photos. I didn't use the dynamic anatomy book at all, which I should have because I did in the second week and it helped a lot. See here you can see I used reference photos. They don't look that bad, but definitely can use improvement. I think the biggest issue I had was the masses, like trying to connect these points here. It just didn't, I don't know, it just never felt right. I believe this is the beginning of week 2, or early on in the week at least. The feet started getting a lot better because I used the dynamic anatomy book as a reference, and in this book the way he draws is really good for referencing, and also just what he says is also helpful. So here on page 210, that's when it starts going into the feet, and you can kind of see how he draws that kind of weird shape. Like he puts in these really boxy areas, and then he does later refinement over them. Like you can see, he draws in those like the shape of the heel, the shape of the feet, just as basic geometric squares and stuff. And then he goes in and refines it. And doing this helped a lot more than the way I was trying to do it, which was just to draw. So mapping out what you're trying to draw helps way more than just trying to draw it. Again, here's some more of using that method of drawing in the squares. The feet look better, not very great, but still better. And I definitely improved from what I used to be like, which was like this. Just, the toes are all weird, just never felt right. It was just kind of weird. Something was always off, which it still is with these drawings, but it's much easier for me to comprehend. So now the way I draw them is I'll get the basic, like where it's facing the foot, where the foot is facing. So like I was drawing this little square, this is the upper half, then I'll draw another square for the toes, which direction they are facing, and now I'll add in those masses which you saw in the dynamic anatomy book, and the way he draws in the heel like this. In 3D space, and this way it helped me a lot. It helped me comprehend it so much better. And then drawing that square for the foot, or sorry, the square for the ball of the foot. Now the toes, I still have trouble with those, like comprehending where they go and stuff, but eventually I'll get there. Also, on top of your heel, there's this, and like another bump, which is basically just a duplicate of this shape, but smaller. And that's what your heel kind of goes up there like that. Here's the ball of your foot. Has that arch in there. And then if you want the top of your foot arch, I usually put it right at the top of where this the second heel shape sort of thing is, and that goes down to like there. Drawing the other masses. So there's kind of the shape of the whole foot kind of. Now drawing the toes. Just kind of use that finger way. And the ankle bones just go right, like on the side of this. I still have trouble placing these correctly, but it's something like that. And that's how I get a basic foot now. And it looks a lot better, and it's a lot easier to map out when you draw out the basic forms of the foot and then draw them in it later. It's just, or refine them later. it helps so much better. It's so much just easier to just map it out in 3D space and to build up from there. So let's draw another foot. Again, using the heel or the blocky method of blocking in stuff. Have the toe on the other side this time. So the pinky toe's on this side. Drawing that second shape. Connect the arch or the top part of your foot. Get the big toe in. And the little toes, little toes. Something like that. It looks kind of weird, but kind of hard to see with all the graphite in the way. But it helps me draw so much better the feet, that is. And it's just so much easier too when you draw on these basic construction shapes. So I really encourage you to, when drawing basically anything, try to map out the basic forms of it, which is what Bernd Hogarth does. Like when you're drawing something, you'd map out the major masses into just blocks, and then you go and further refine those later once you've got the basic shape that you want down, and it really helps with composition, and it's just so much better and easier to draw that way. So that is it for this week's topic and last week's as well. So, see you later.